Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. This is your Paxton Road TV reaction show for the game that has just been completed, finished, end of the game, whatever it is. Spurs 5, Newcastle 1. I told you yesterday it was going to be a beating, and I was right. Hotspur said the same thing, a little bit more reserved, but we knew it was going to be a beating. Anyway, that being said, let us get on with the reaction show. Joined in the house by, as usual, Mike Hotspur Hustler and the lovely Christina Z. The Phil Mitchell of Paxton Road TV. Inside joke. We won't say no more. But anyway, let us continue on. Before we start really getting into this, make sure you hit the like button on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and share all the content around with you, and also make some comments in the comment section below. And breathe. Okay then, 5-1 to the Spurs. I said it. I knew it was going to be. It was not as comfortable in the beginning bit, but once we got that once we got the equaliser and then got the second goal to go ahead, I thought, the floodgates, as they say, was going to open. Christina, welcome to the show. The first time on the show where we've won and you've been on a reaction show.
About bloody time.
Tell me about the game. Talk to me about the game. What did you think of the performance today? Obviously, the result was all important. We had to win. Keeps us well within that shout for top 4. Pressure's back on Arsenal. So, how do you think the guys performed today?
Okay, apologies first if I sound a bit coldish because I've just recovered from an illness. But anyways, first half, I thought bit shaky, and I think even the fans at the stadium as well were a bit nervous. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay. Just a bit too slow. I thought there was just passing around and there was just not much really going, but it was okay. Second half, unbelievable, sensational football. I don't know what the hell Conte or what the hell happened in the dressing room, but we came out there and absolutely put Newcastle in the bin. I was loving it. And I'm going to admit, guys, Doherty played bloody great, and I'm the one that usually gives him a lot of stick.
You are the one who gave him the nickname Dorothy. And this is why people like Philip here is saying Dorothy, because he's saying as well. He scored. Did he assist as well? I can't remember.
He did.
I think he did. He get the third assist, the third or fourth.
I'm not sure. Yes, he did. He did. He got the assist because he got the crossing for what's his name? Emerson, who scored. That's why I know.
Yeah.
So he scored and he got an assist. Come on, Mike. What are you telling me? Oh, he's still not saying it, sir. He's still not having it.
You know what? To be fair, he had a decent game. He did have a decent game. I'm not end of the day, sorry. If he plays well and we win, I don't care. It doesn't alter my opinion on him as a footballer, but I'm happy. If he's playing and we're winning and he's scoring, I don't care. As long as Spurs win, then we get to where where we want to be come the end of the season, then Doherty can carry on doing what he's doing. End of the season, that's a different story. That's a different kettle of fish. We won't even go there. We don't need to go there. Let's keep it positive.
Let's keep it positive. And you're right in what you're saying. Like I said, at the end of the season, we have to
upgrade.
Let's concentrate on the game today, because, like I said, you can't not concentrate when you win 5-1 at home. The pressure was on, and we've seen before when the pressure has been on Spurs how sometimes it can affect them. And as I said, when the team news came out, as Christina was saying, Reguilón not being in the starting 11, you're thinking, okay, Emerson's going to be in the team. He's definitely going to have to be on the right side because I don't want to see him on the left. That meant Doherty. I'm going to call him Dorothy, not quite Dorothy, and not quite Dorothy.
To be Dorothy today, actually, yeah.
No, I'm calling him Doherty today because he a golden assist. You can't mess about.
I'm just going to call him Matthew.
First name.
Anyway, Doherty. Like I said, I lost my train of thought now. Where was I going with it? What was I saying about him? I don't know. Oh yeah, that was it. Starting 11.
Had a decent game, mate.
Starting 11. Reguilón not being in there. Doherty having to play at left wing back. I just felt we weren't going to get enough out of our wing backs, crossing wise. If Doherty's on the left, he's going to be cutting in field and he's going to be trying to whatever, and it was going to condense the play. And it looked and appeared it was doing that for the the first half an hour or so, they started to get a little bit more penetration, but then Newcastle go and score, and that always F's up everything, because once a team like that score, you're thinking to yourself, right, that's it. We're going to have to try and break them down, and we've seen that we've not been the best at breaking teams down. But I must say today, and having seen some of the West Ham game, Mike definitely turned his light off. Anyway,
I'm here. I don't know what's
he's there. What was I saying again? No, we started to control the game more. And we definitely increased the possession, and we're better at like getting through the lines. So I was happy to see that. So again, talk to me about the goals, Mike. What did you think of the actual goals themselves in terms of the way that they were taken? Was you happy that when, again, that's 21 goals in the last 6 league games?
Mate, the volume of goals that we're scoring at the moment is ridiculous. Like Christine was saying in the first half, I thought we were just reserved. It felt like we were a bit reserved and just trying to I suppose, work out what Newcastle were all about, or what their game plan was. And I think it probably took us, to be fair, probably about 45 minutes to sort of work out sort of like what Newcastle were doing, etc. And they scored that goal, which came, was it from Son's foul in the box, was just outside the box, wasn't it?
But no, it was the corner. Was it a corner? Or was it a free kick?
I can't remember.
So we either had a set piece anyway.
Yeah,
it might have been a set. It might be. It was a set piece anyway.
It was, because they took it back for VAR, didn't they, to see if it clipped. Was it? I'm forgetting his name now up front. Who's the Newcastle striker up front? See if it clipped his arm.
Oh, good grief!
I can't think of his name. Woods. That's it. I think they looked to see if it touched Chris Wood's arm on the way through. But either way, Lloyd should have done better at that. Other than that, though, I think actually I had to replay the first, what was it, 5-10 minutes. I was doing something else and come back, and I think it was like we'd notched 2 goals in the space of like 10 minutes. I was like, hold on a minute, what's happened here? So I had to go back and watch those goals. But the goals, we were clinical. That's as simple as I can put it, really. We were clinical. I thought, in fact, you could probably argue we probably should have won 6, because Son, he missed one, which I thought was I thought it was creeping in that bottom right-hand corner, but he just put it wide. But the fact of the matter is, as well, which is pleasing from a goals perspective, is we notched 5 and Kane didn't even score. Although it was Kane who assisted the third, I think it was, not Doherty. Doherty didn't assist any today, but he scored.
Yeah, he did. He assisted the one that.
No, I've just looked.
Emerson. He must have.
Son, Kane, Kulu, and Lucas Moura.
Well, I'm going to give it to Doherty, because he crossed that ball in. He cut back in off his left foot, crossed the ball in. Next thing I see, Emerson got his bloody head to it. So I don't care. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So, what can you say? At the end of the day, I think at home, I think we are now starting to be a bit of a force to be reckoned with. And again, with Conte, as he's always said, just give me time, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. These things, rebuilding, getting my ideas across. We've said it all before in previous streams, and it is. You can't say it's not. It is starting to bear. The fruits are starting to bear with how we're playing and the ideas that sort of Conte's come to the table with. If you did see in the second half, we did go to a back 4, and I thought we looked a little bit lost of a back 4. He changed it probably within the last 15, maybe 20 minutes, and it looked like we'd gone more of a back 4. But I mean, it was pleasing to see that there's certain players coming off, being given a rest, and that's crucial. If we're 4-1 up, why play these players 90 minutes? There's no need to. Get them off early doors. Give other players a chance, like Bergwijn. Bergwijn comes on and he scores. Took his goal as well. He's unfortunate with that second one. I thought that was in. And I think the Newcastle keeper was panicking there. He looked a bit like, uh-oh. But yeah, no, second half. Yeah, great performance.
Christina,
Can't argue it.
You can't argue when, like I said, I don't even mind them not
We were
playing
running riot as well.
in a four because it's kind of like a 4-4-2 they kind of went to where Bergwijn and Kane was up top. When you're 4-1 up, they could play 1-10 if they want. I don't give a toss because you're not going to lose that game in 10 minutes. No team should do. We've seen Spurs can do things, but it's good to see that, you know, they brought certain players off. Bentancur getting a bit of a rest. Kulusevski coming off as well. Obviously, I think Harry Kane wanted to stay on so he could get his goal. But for you, Christina, if you can name a man of the match, who would it be?
For me, it was Ramiro. I thought he was absolutely class today. I couldn't get my eyes off him. I also think Son would be top on it, if I'm honest, and also all the Son doubters getting a bin as well. He proved it. He proved them all wrong today. He was bloody brilliant as well. It was a shame he didn't score again because he was, and even Bergwijn as well. He could have scored another one towards the end. But yeah, for me, it was Ramiro all the way. I was going to say about Kane as well. I thought he looked a bit tired today, in my opinion, and I think that's why he wasn't getting involved with getting in the box as much. But he played absolutely sensational.
If that's Kane tired, just the range of passing that he did from that midfield area today. Even Jamie Carragher was saying it's probably one of the, he's never seen a striker, centre forward, whatever you want to call him these days, be able to drop into midfield and play the range of passing. He's definitely up there with the best of the passers, certainly in the Premier League at the moment, but even in terms of all time. And I'm not just talking about a striker playing in the midfield area, making them. I'm talking about passing in general. You know, the range of passing that he's got from that area. He found Son a couple of times with one-on-ones, and this is what I'm saying. Not to have Kane scoring today and still to score 5, that can only be a good thing for us, right?
100%, mate. 100%.
Definitely.
If Kane's not scoring and we're banging in 5 goals, there's not one Tottenham fan that can argue or complain, and it shows also, it puts a message out to the rest of the Premier League. Is like, it ain't just Harry Kane you have to be aware of, because there is goals all over the team, like all over that starting 11. You could argue there's goals. I mean, Davis popping up, notching from it's from a corner. Well, initially it was from a corner, but then it came in from a cross, didn't it? And Davis notched the first spot, the equaliser. Yeah, if we're winning 5-1 and Kane's not on the score sheet and he's assisting and just doing his stuff, and if that's him tired, imagine when he's fit and he's actually on fire. I mean, yeah.
I did actually think Son was even 100% today either.
It's always going to be the same. I think after
international
break,
isn't it? Yeah,
international break, and those plays. Son obviously done a lot of travelling as well, but the fact that it's an international break, 2 games within the space of a week and a half, and then to come back, prepare for this game, is. And the people always say, why should players be tired? It's not just about the actual playing; it's the travelling, it's the going away, it's the come down from you. Some of them may have not made it into the World Cup, so they might be on a bit of a downer. Some may have made it into the World Cup, so you all these emotions are going to play a little bit of, you know, telling things in the way they play. This is why I was confident about today's game, because I just thought Newcastle, you know, I think they're safe. Personally, they just have to win their home games and they're all right. And they don't have to win many more games. So yeah, I think it was just a game, as long as we focused and concentrated and didn't allow the pressure. So we've done that. Let's have a look at some stats then. Let's have a look at some stats. Okay, so let's get this off. So Christina, you wanted to see this. Here we go then. This is for you. Tottenham 5, Newcastle 1. Goal scorers: Davis, Doherty, Son, Emerson, and Bergwijn. Assists today: Son, Kane, Kulusevski, Lucas. You're right about the one not going to Doherty. I think it's because it took a deflection on the way in when Lucas got the goal. Anyway, 62% possession to us, 38 to them. 19 shots, again, with double figures, approaching 20 shots today to their 8. 6 on target. Shows an effective shot conversion ratio there, or to goal to shot conversions. 2 corners to 3, 10 fouls to 7. What does that look like to you then, Christina? Is this what you want and expect to see from Tottenham at home? Dominating possession, dominant with the shots, and dominant with the scoreline.
That possession. How long has it been since I've seen us have a possession that high? Like, that's unbelievable. 62%. That's how it should be, man.
That's how it should be.
That's what I'm talking about. 19 shots.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
6 shots on target. That's Conte ball right there.
100%.
Yeah, this is massive improvement. Massive. This must have been all from the second half, though.
Yeah, because first half, it'd be interesting. It was definitely a lot closer in the first half in terms of possession. I'm not sure how many shots we had, but it couldn't have been that many because we did pepper them in that second half, particularly after we got that second goal and they were trying to chase it. I said they're cruising for us because Dan Burn cannot keep pace with anybody. And I saw him trying to, keep pace with. I think it was not Bergwijn, Lucas, and on either the Bergwijn goal, and he was trying to grab him like this, and Lucas was gone. He's not gonna.
You don't want to be seeing a 6'4", 6'5" centre back who looks like he's running through quicksand because it's just not a pretty sight, is it?
It's not. And in the comparison to what we had at the back, Romero is like a Rolls Royce, Chevrolet, whatever type of car that's very, very easy on the eye. And
I reckon Romero could probably walk. He could walk on water, mate.
He's definitely.
Romero is literally one of them signings I'm actually satisfied with. It's been a while since I've had that feeling with a Spurs signing.
Satisfied. I'm over the moon that we've got him because, like I said, without him in defence, there was still some shaky moments today, and Dyer had a couple of shaky moments when that there was that opportunity where Romero came across and made that block after. I think it was Willock. Willock made that turn in the box. He beat Dyer, had the shot. Romero came from nowhere, and the next thing I see him blocking that. Mate, that's the sort of thing he does.
That term world class gets banded about far too often, but Romero has got that world class. He has got world class qualities. I mean, he may not be quite at that level yet because to be world class, I think you've got to be consistent with your performances. But he is showing that, and I think he will be 100%. I mean, he has been top draw for us. Like Christina says, what a signing. I do think there's still areas of Tottenham there. It would be great to see like an upgrade in certain positions. But Romero, different. He's different gravy. So is Bentancur, to be fair. I mean, he's only come into the team from January along with Kulu, but what a player. These South American players, they are so comfortable on the ball. There's been occasions where you're like, shit, like release that ball, mate. You're gonna get taken. But they are so composed and so calm on the ball, and then they come out. They do what they need to do, but they come out.
And this is why you don't mind that sort of player making a mistake every now and again because he's trying to do the right thing, but also keep possession of the ball, beat what needs to be beaten, and then make a pass forward. So that's good. I don't mind. And
then Pete, like Spurs, there is Spurs fans and there's other fans like, oh yeah, he's a Juventus reject. If he's a Juventus reject, I mean, I'll take a Juventus reject if they play like him week in, week out, all day long.
I mean,
he is different. He's just different class. It's not about who partners Højbjerg, who partners Skier. It is literally who suits playing alongside Bentancur. I mean, he is very much of a box-to-box player, and at the moment, you can't argue. Højbjerg is playing very well, and he looks comfortable, like confident, and he looks comfortable, and he's making passes which looks like the Højbjerg that we had from last season, where he was confident. I agree. He was more composed. I think he looks fitter as well. To be fair,
they all look fitter. I think every player looks fitter.
There's been occasions with Højbjerg where the guy just looks leggy. Like, just give him a month's break and just let him sort of recharge his batteries. But whatever's happened, he does look fitter. He looks more confident as well, which is only a bonus to us, isn't it?
So looking at now, this is the interesting bit. Looking at the league table now, and I know that there's a few people who saying we shouldn't talk about top four, but I'm gung ho on it now. From the time I've seen the improvements in the way we're playing, I'm happy to now talk Spurs up. When it was inconsistent, we weren't seeing patterns of play. It's difficult to know one game to the next. Now there isn't any excuses for me in terms of how we play. It's a case of having a bit of luck. Obviously, playing away from home is going to be slightly different, but because of the way that we do play in terms of this counter-attacking style, away from home, it's ideal for teams that want to obviously come at us. And provided at home we can play like we did today, but also maintain, that sort of approach where we can still build play up, but also play from a counter-attack. We've got everything to be able to win in different ways. And now we've got different ways to win. It's a case of big players turning up, having the mentality, and Conte just drilling it into them. Top 4 to this year is like them winning the league. And that's what you got to do. I know it's not, but that's what you've got to almost put it like. Top 4 is now our league win. So, Christina, the game that Arsenal play tomorrow against Crystal Palace, I think Patrick Vieira is going to do him a favour, personally. So I think they'll win tomorrow. Is the North London derby game going to be it? Is this what we're looking forward to? Maybe the last week of the season? Is it going to come down to that? Like the Liverpool and Man City game might be the title decider next week. Is that going to be the same for top 4 for us?
I mean, I'll say, but with today's game, our goal difference went up, and I think that's really important for us to take note of, because towards the end of the season, we need to get that up. So that was a big bonus for us today. I think we should have got 6 today, 6 goals. But
yeah,
with top 4, in comparison to Arsenal's fixtures, to ours, we should do it. I mean, they've got Liverpool, and then they've got Chelsea as well. They've got they've got hard fixture.
West Ham as well. They've got some tough fixtures. However, again, it's a case of what we've got to do, and we did it today, is keep that pressure on them, because they have got that game in hand. Obviously, now they've got 2 games in hand over us, but they've got obviously play tomorrow, which, as I said, I can't see them not picking up. Well, I can see them not picking up 3 points, but it would surprise me if they didn't.
Yeah, I do. And the thing is, I don't think we should even doubt Arsenal, because they are on form at the moment as well. But who knows with the Premier League at the moment? Who bloody knows? It's in our hands at the moment, and this is what's frustrating, is when this does usually happen with Tottenham, we chuck it out the window all the time. But this is in our hands now, and we should, with our squad, we should be making top 4. 100%.
Mike, would you say that we are favourites now, or would you still want to reserve until? Because I said, I think based on what you said, Christina, when the fixtures, you look at it and you think how we're playing and how we've got those teams to play, and we've played all them big teams apart from Liverpool. We've got to play at Anfield. It should be on paper a tougher time for Arsenal, but we all know about paper and grass and all the rest of that stuff. Mike, do you think that Spurs are favourites? Or is it Arsenal?
Oh, man, I'm not. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that world.
I tried.
We've been there too many times where we all big up Spurs and then we all come crashing down to some sort of reality check. I'm keeping it 1 game at a time for me. Keep it 1 game at a time. I mean, I don't think Arsenal are going to beat Palace. They got Palace away. I don't think they're going to beat Palace. That's just my. Maybe I'm hoping. I don't know, but I've just got this funny. I've got a funny feeling that Arsenal might come unstuck against them.
Do you know what?
It's a tricky game, Palace, because you don't know what team. I mean, Palace are very much.
In normal circumstances, I think it would be a tricky game. But for me, Palace is safe. That's a given. That's one thing. Secondly, it's bloody Patrick Vieira in charge. Martin Keown, Thierry Henry, all them people have been on the phone to him. Listen, Pat. Come on, man. Invincibles and all that. Come on. Do us a. They're going to be on the phone to him. So Pat's not going to lie down.
You know what Pat might be thinking? He might be thinking, I'll do Arsenal. And at the end of the season, I hope and pray that Arteta F's it up and I'll get that job come summer.
Point. That's a good point, actually. That I didn't think of that angle, because that is an actual nugget there.
Because he must be thinking. True. He must be thinking at some point in his managerial career he wants a bit of life in that job. Arsenal job.
So maybe if he kicks his ass tomorrow and he says, "Well, look what I imagine." Could you imagine that? Anyway, let's not think about that now. Let's move on to the team. Let's have a look at the team then. Lloris in goal. This is our Spurs lineup today. So as you were saying, earlier. We got a little bit concerned. Well, maybe, yeah, I would say I was just concerned that we weren't going to be able to create too many opportunities from the wide areas with Emerson and Doherty being on the left-hand side. But prove me wrong. They both proved me wrong today. You know, Emerson was getting down that right-hand side. His quality for crosses isn't the best, but I saw a few of his runs. He's making curved runs and trying to get him behind. And thumbs up. Well done, Emerson. Doherty on the left-hand side doing exactly the same thing. But again, cutting inside, trying to cross with his right. It was always going to block things up a little bit. But who cares when you win 5-1? So, again, where was the improvements that you think in order for us to, let's say, take a next step in our advancements, Christina? Where could we improve? I know the wing back is probably the obvious answer, but is there anywhere else you think that we could improve over the next 8 games for the season?
Lloris needs to be a bit improvement. That he was the one that made the error in this game. I thought I just think everyone else did well. It was just that was the issue. I personally thought when the lineup came up, I told you guys, I thought Rodon was going to come on and then put Sanchez on the left. But again, like you said, proved me wrong. But that's what I was going to go for. Yeah, I was happy in the end. I was more than happy with the team. So yeah, I can't say more.
Yeah. Well, I'm wanting to. I'm always not glass half empty or half. I just want to see improvement where there's areas which we can improve. As I said, wing back. If we get a more balance, and that's having Regan, I think it could have been even more of a victory today, because I think Doherty on that right hand side has proved better than Emerson. So that left hand side, if you have that balance, let's say with Regan, I know he's not probably had the best last couple of months, but still, because he gives you that balance as a typical left-sided player who does attack and does get forward, that's where I think we can get some improvements for the rest of the season. If we get that side sorted out, plus the 2 players that are due to come back from injury, i.e. Sessegnon and Skip, they come back next week. It's competition for places. You got competition for places, it makes the others, or should make the others, play for their places a little bit more. I don't know what Rodon's done. I don't know if anybody can find out what Joe Rodon's done, but whatever he's done is very naughty, because he's not getting anything. Even at 5-1, he's not getting a look in. What's he done?
I don't know why. He played so good at the Wales game. I'm not sure what's going on here. I feel sorry for him.
I feel concerned. When you're 4-5-1 up and you don't bring him on then, and you still take off, because we took off, who did we take off? We took off Emerson, and we could have, put Ben Davies to the left.
Misterk came off as well, didn't he?
And you could have put him in there as even for Romero. And even if you wanted to stay with a back three, you could have put Ben Davies as left wing back and put Rodon in there when I had a back three. But the fact he didn't come on, and maybe I'm picking too much at that. But is there anything that we need to read into that going forward?
What with Rodon?
With Rodon, yeah.
He's not going to get a game. It's just no. I don't know what it is. Is he even picking up a wage? Is he picking up a wage? I honestly don't know.
I reckon he's going to go for them.
Someone's got photos.
I think he's going to go for them
somewhere. I don't know if he's got photos of Conte or Conte's got photos of him. I don't know what it is, but
something's not quite right. And I only say that after today.
He did play well. Christina, you are right. He did have good games for Wales.
And he hasn't played in a bloody long time as well.
Yeah, he was very good, to be fair.
And you're winning 4-1 after 60-something minutes, and he still don't come on. That's what I'm saying. Is like, okay. The only concern. Go on, sorry.
You could argue that with Sanchez as well.
Yes, but I don't care. I don't care about Sanchez anymore.
No, I don't either. He's done. I don't want to see him in the Spurs shirt again.
I don't want to see him. But Rodon has got something about him because of what I've seen him play against Wales, and he's got more of a left-sided appeal. He can play that left-sided centre back. I know Ben Davies plays there, but he can play central and he can play left-sided. So that's an ideal opportunity. And again, he's playing with his mate, Ben Davies. To me, all them things don't add up. Anyway, let's not look too much into
He's
that.
done me. I sadly, I don't think he'll be. He won't feature in a Spurs shirt again.
I rate him. I like.
I do. I think he's a good player. He's good young player, but he ain't about Conte's life. But wherever it is,
though? This is what I'm saying. Is why
I'm telling you, he'll be at Fulham. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen.
Who's that? Who's the manager at Fulham at the moment? Is it still Scotty Parker?
I think it is Scotty Parker, isn't it? I don't know.
I can't remember. But
because then they're promoting, aren't they?
They're almost there.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So that's what I think is going to happen. Once they get promoted, he'll be off to Fulham. I'm telling you.
Andrew Z saying, "Come on, you Spurs. Timing of equaliser was key today. Definitely." Postmax saying, "Well said, Mike. Forced to be reckoned with. Here we go again, Romero. So he's being talked up. Raise the volume, Christina. We've done that plenty today. We've definitely raised the volume. Alexander Hilton, Bentancur, man of the match. He started all the goals. Yeah, to be fair with Bentancur, you can see what a difference having him in midfield than having Winks in there. And it's going to be good to have Skip back. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think Skip takes Bentancur's place. It's only, it's Bentancur and +1.
And plus, with Skip being up so long, it's going to take him at least half a dozen games just to get back into the swing of things. By then, the Premier League's done and dusted. So it might be a case that unless anything happens to Skip or Bentancur, anything happens to Højbjerg or Bentancur, that Skip just plays second fiddle to the end of the season. That's what I think will end up happening anyway. But
okay, Andrew Z saying Souness compared Kane to Hoddle. Wow, that's some comparison.
Who?
If he's getting
who's compared to Hoddle?
Kane. That's what Graham Souness was saying on Sky Sports. Apparently, it's a big comparison.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure about that myself. I'm not sure about that myself because I saw Glenn Hoddle play, and Glenn Hoddle can play. He could play ball, man. Does Kane stay? Does the club back Conte? I'll ask the panel. Christina, do you think Kane stays? And do you think the club will back Conte now they've seen progression?
I mean, I think that's a question from my brother right there. So, but
it is.
It is. Yeah,
he's sneaky, isn't he? He's sneaky. Oh, right, sorry about that. Go on, sorry.
So I think if we get top 4, Kane's got to stay, right? That's the achievement. And definitely. If top 4, Conte's got to stay. I think that's the whole goal of this, the achievement of this for us at the end of the season. So, why should he leave if we achieve top 4 realistically? I mean, there is a few things.
As I said, in case there could be the case. Well, okay, let me start again. Conte said now that he's refocused. He realizes that we're not a team that's challenging for the league at this present time, but he's seen enough that we can develop this team, which suggests to me that he should be here after next summer, unless something drastic happens in the summer where we do a madness and don't spend any money, and then people come in and they take, because there's talk about, would Conte go to Man U? PSG's in the running. Could Kane go to City still? Could Kane go to Chelsea? And all these sort of talk up, which I don't think is going to happen. But we never know until we start next season. I'm going to ask then, Mike. This is the other thing I was going to ask. My cousin started to prompt me earlier, thinking after Chelsea lost yesterday, are Chelsea back in this? Are we dragging Chelsea back into this?
I think Chelsea are in trouble, mate. Like, I do honestly think Chelsea are in trouble. And it's too much of a coincidence. What with the sanctions, like what was happening with Roman and stuff like that. It just seems to have had a sort of instant, or it feels like it's too much of a coincidence, isn't it? Where it's just become a sort of like an instant impact, whereby it's just it's an impact from a negative perspective on Chelsea. I mean, getting spanked 4-1 by Brentford.
By Eriksen.
I was going to say Eriksen, didn't he score the first goal? I mean, I think Chelsea. They're getting dragged back into it.
Look how many times we got spanked by Chelsea. So imagine Brentford. Oh dear.
Chelsea have got. They've got I forget they've got. I think I forget who they've got next, and then they've got Arsenal.
Well, they've got Real Madrid in the Champions League.
No, I'm on about the Premier League though.
Oh, I'm not sure if they got.
They got two tricky games. Arsenal being the other tricky game, but there's a tricky game for them. It might have been Brentford. I don't know. It can't have been Brentford. There was another team, but those two games. If they lose those the next two games, and we win our next two games, and Arsenal win their next two games, Chelsea, whether they like it or not, they're.
And the thing is, if we can bring Chelsea back into it, because Arsenal have to play Chelsea, and we can take advantage of that situation if we're close enough to both those teams. And this is what I'm saying about. I'm not necessarily saying that we can maybe finish above Chelsea to get into third, but what it does for us in terms of that race is brings them back in. And means when they play Arsenal, if we're close enough, it gives us that advantage to get in there, regardless of who wins the game. If we're close enough to both of them, if Chelsea go on from their goal for 6 points, then it really doesn't matter. But at the moment, it's a little bit interesting. Christina, should we be talking about potentially third?
Oh God, is it pushing?
No, let's not do it to ourselves.
Yeah, I feel like
don't let Shane drag you into this.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Up, Christina.
You'll get clipped
up.
Nah, I can't talk about that yet. No.
Well, I am. I am. Right, I'm gonna go gung ho on this. Right,
don't do it to yourself.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try and be logical though. Chelsea, as you said, Mike, are in a little bit of a situation with regards to the Roman Abramovich situation. Blah blah blah. We know all that. The fans are beginning to protest because the new owners that they could potentially get, they don't seem to like for whatever reason. I haven't gone into all the details. They've also got some tough games to come up. We've talked about Arsenal. There's a number of other teams. I think they've got us to play also. Is it City somewhere or Liverpool? I can't remember, but they've got to play tough teams. And they're in the Champions League still. And the FA Cup, are they not? Are they in the FA Cup as well? So they've got a few games which they might not necessarily think, okay, how are we going to prioritize all this with all the pressure that they've got to contend with as well? If we're in and around them, I'm just saying, it could be interesting. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not getting clipped up for that.
Oh, lads and lasses, I should say. Lads and lasses.
I'm hoping that Chelsea get brought into this. But that's as far as I'm going to keep it.
People say, where have we been hiding, Christina? Well, I'll tell you where we've been hiding now. Because every time she comes on here after a review show, which usually we've lost it. So we've had to just keep her on the sidelines elsewhere. But she's here today. Sean's saying, CC, you're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You look heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. Wow, what's
Romero?
That's Sid's job to sing.
Christina.
That's Sid's job to sing. What's Sean doing with all this? Jeez. Anyway, like I said, it's funny. Jews nuts. I like.
Hey,
as I keep saying, I've got to be very careful with that name, and it gets me every single time. But Jews nuts. Mike, do you work for the Sun? So many conspiracy theories today.
Hey, we'll keep it. We'll just let that comment. I'm not going into any more with that comment. We'll leave that to the side.
Conte was praising Rodon in the pre-match. I don't know what. We're moving on from that Rodon thing because it's a mystery, and I don't think we're going to solve that mystery today. Dean Webb, do you think that Dyer will get an England call-up as he's getting better all the time?
Do you know what? That's a comment. It's an interesting comment that because how is Maguire getting a call-up for England based on his you could argue the last 6 months of his performance have been dreadful. I don't understand how he still get. I mean, even if you go from January to now, how is Maguire still in that England squad? He's been awful the majority of games that I've seen him play. I know Dyer's been injured and stuff, but
he's
surely if you get
consistent player this season,
I would say, you're probably right there. I mean, surely to get an England call up, it's got to be based on sort of consistent performances and in terms of playing well. And Maguire just been terrible.
I don't understand. I thought for England you had to be good. I thought you had to be good. but he's shit, and he's still playing, at Man United. And he's anyway. Let's leave them. That's up to them. I hope they keep him in there forever. I really do.
It avoids injury, so I'm all right with it.
There is that as well. To be fair, yeah, you're right there.
Oh dear. Read 3 more comments. Alexander Hill, a 3-day break between Southampton and Real Madrid. So again, that's what I'm saying. They've got to play Southampton and Real Madrid. That's Chelsea.
Oh, that's who it is. Southampton, then Chelsea. Sorry, then Arsenal. That's what I was on about. Yeah.
Only match Chelsea have a week break is Watford, but Chelsea will still need to rearrange the Leeds game, should I say?
Yeah,
so as I said, because now they're a little bit close. That result yesterday against Brighton was obviously a massive shock, but it helps us. So provided we don't have many more shocks, I can see us keeping pace with this lot until the end of the season. And it's going to go down to I think it's going to go down to the last week, definitely.
To the North London derby.
I think that could be a decider if we're close enough. We have to see Arsenal slip up, at least maybe get a draw in between before we play that game. And if we're level on points, or certainly within 3 points of them, whoever wins that North London derby, let's say it's a game, penultimate game, that would be great, wouldn't it? Imagine that.
I don't think it will, mate. I don't think it will. I think it'll be sorted. I think it'll be.
I'd love it to be.
I think it'll be done for them. Whether it's in our favour or not, I think Arsenal have got a tricky 3 or 4 games before the North London derby. We, on paper, you could argue. I mean, I thought today was going to be a little bit tricky. Aston Villa away, and then Brighton. Yeah, it's Brighton, isn't it? So, yeah.
And then we've got Burnley.
That's it. So there's our next 4 games, including day, should be on paper games that we should win.
Even Liverpool? We got Liverpool in there somewhere.
They're not. They're like 5th. I think we've got them in like the fifth game.
Hold on a minute. I'll tell you.
I think we got Leicester. We got Leicester at home.
Leicester before Liverpool. So I think it goes.
Villa, Brighton, Brentford, Leicester.
Yeah.
Then Liverpool.
So those games. That's where our tricky game is. Liverpool. The other games, 4 games before then. On paper, we should be.
So then, why weren't you like boosting it up like I was? I'm the only one who's going to get clipped up here. I'm jumping on it.
No, man, you learn from this. We can't get excited about this.
I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. Every time I keep saying,
so many times.
Yeah, I know we have, but this is what I'm saying. I've got to break that habit because I want to do what you lot do and thinking, no, we can't get too excited. But if we can't get excited now, having seen them play like that and having seen them play the last few weeks, I'm not going to get excited for the rest of the season till the last day. And I can't wait till the last day. I've got to get excited now. Come on, Patrick. Do me a favour tomorrow. Beat them lot because you know you want that Arsenal job. You know you want it. So I'd win if I was you. That would be what I would do. Great discussion. Fabulous panel. Christina the Rose between 2 fawns. Hold on a minute.
Hold tight, Sean.
Hold on a minute, Sean.
Creme de la creme here, mate.
You know what I mean? Hold on a minute, Sean. Leicester are shit. Well, I wouldn't quite go that far, but they're not playing the best in the world. Dean is in the house as well. All winnable games. They're all winnable games, as they should be.
The Liverpool one, I think we Liverpool away.
That's going to be our hardest one. That'll be the hardest.
That's going to be the tough one. Right then, final thoughts then. Let's start off with you, Christina. Final thoughts on today. And if you want to be adventurous and you want to start talking up, you can do. But I'll leave it to you.
I'm just really glad that I've done the reaction show where we've won it. So I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing just for that. But yeah, amazing game. Like I said, some doubters, go away. Newcastle, go away. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, I like that. I like that indeed. Mike, final thoughts.
I'm just going to keep it reserved.
Oh, you lot.
Another 3 points under in the bag. What was it? How many games now have we scored more than 2-3 goals? This must be like 3 or 4 games on the trot.
Well, like I said, 6 games we scored 21 goals. The game we lost was obviously the Man United game, but we scored 2 in that as well. But yeah, 5 against Everton, 4 against Leeds, 2 against, was it Brighton we scored against? Who did we play? West Ham, another 3, 5 today. The guys. This is what I'm saying. We've got goals now, and we've got goal scorers. Kane, Son, Kulusevski are all goal scorers for me. Kane probably the best, definitely the best in the Premiership. We just got to make sure we concentrate, focus.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sort of the mindset. Just one game at a time. We've been here too many times. I just keep thinking, what if Spurs didn't piss about in the summer and just gave Conte the money and said, look, come in at the summer. I mean, we wouldn't have had that nonsense with Nuno, where we were getting bad. I mean, but it just makes me wonder where we would be if Conte had the sort of from the get go.
You know what? That we could do that, but the fact is, I don't know. I don't know.
The one that annoys me is that we allowed United to beat us twice.
How did United?
They're so bad, United. They are so bad. How the hell did we allow them to beat us twice?
I put that in the group yesterday. I couldn't believe it when I saw how rubbish they played yesterday and how rubbish they were and how it was just Ronaldo. And when he weren't playing, that team's awful. But again, let's not talk about them too much because everybody's gonna say, "Oh well, you're hating on them." No, I'm gonna now talk it up. Spurs were in for this. If Chelsea don't watch out, they could be dragged into this. I think they're already part of it, and I don't want to say too much more. But hold on a minute. We could be here for a decent season. If we imagine it, we get top four after having had what we've had. I think it'll be a very good season. Conte I think we'll see it as being a good season, and then next year or next season. Yeah, we need to make sure we do right in the transfer market. So that's all important. But yeah,
and I think that is key for us next season as well. Like I think if Conte stays, Kane stays. I think it's.
But we kind of, with the signings we've had so far, we've kind of got to have a little faith in PRTv as well. I think. No?
I do. I do because, as I said, I looked at the two players that come in. If they've made the starting 11 and they've made the starting 11 very quickly, sometimes it takes players a few months and. Probably in hindsight, you're thinking these players might not have been ready till next season coming in January. But the fact they're playing now and we're looking at them and saying, I can't see how they can be out of the team. That's really good for us.
Yeah, I mean, so they have really hit the ground running. It's unusual, isn't it, for players playing in a slower, arguably more tactical type league to come into the Premier League and just literally hit that ground, especially. Bentike's South American and just into the Premier League takes some doing, but the fact that they just slotted in,
that's where we got lucky. That's where we got lucky for this part of January.
It's either luck or it's great bit of scouting by Paratici and Conte.
What I should have meant by luck was it's lucky that they've been able to transition into the team so quickly. As I said, usually you buy someone in January, you might think, they might play a little bit part, but to play like they're playing now before the end of the season is fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah. It's brilliant. Shout out to Andrew. Now I know it's you. I see you. I see you now.
Get on Paxton.
You can't hide now unless you change your name.
Brother and sister combination.
Yeah, don't come with no ghost accounts and try and fool me. I see you. Mike, Christina, it's been a pleasure. It's been a good day for us. We've got to take the positives from all these things when we win. We've had loads of negatives. We've had loads of ups and downs this season. So again, this is why I'm like, stay positive. Seeing the positives in the team. The manager looks happy. The players look happy. We got to be happy with what we're seeing. 21 goals, like I said, in 6 games. Consider we were losing 3-0 in the London derbies against Crystal Palace and Arsenal in the season with Nuno, and I thought, this is it. I'm going to have to change sports. This is where we are now.
It's so obvious as well, though, that the whole Nuno thing was just a panic. Just get any manager in because we can't go into a new season without a manager, and that was a panic. It's obviously a panic signing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And breathe. So I think that's it now. I think that should be it. We can go and relax and do what we need to do for the rest of the evening. Have a glass or two, whatever you want to do to enjoy. As Shauna put in the comment, we only had like 9 likes. and there was over 70 people watching. It's still only very few likes. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching now. If you're watching on catch up as well, make sure you do that as well. Comments in the comment section. Look out for us again on Tuesday for Talking Points, but before that, Monday with Judge Jody for player ratings, which I'm sure there will be no contenders for jail. Not even Sid this week. Nobody. So look forward to more on Paxton Road. Mike, Christina, and also Andrew, I can see you. I can see you. I'm just going to call him out now. Get him
Christina,
on, Paxton.
you have to get him on. You have to get him on. We
Don't
want to
pick
cover
him
his
up.
Oh,
combination
dear, it's
of
funny
facts.
as hell. It's great. It's great. Time to go. I think it's time to go. Thank you very much, guys. We will see you on the next time. Well done, Christina, for being on a winning stream. Thank you very much. Mike, see you later.